Welcome back to Ravenport on Farming Simulator 19 for episode 23 with me, MrSealyp. At the store again. The horses have both been exercised. They're up to 100% for today. Daily riding, Mr. Bean and Tiberius have both been ridden. I've still got some more names to use when I get different horses. That's all good. Our 25 cows. Oh yeah, next animal in 46 hours. So we've had one anyway. First contracts. I've got a sowing contract ongoing, and as you've seen, I just finished the fertilising contract on field 4. Just down a little bit further, there's a harvesting contract on field 5 available for when both of those have done. But what I need to do, I need to do some hay, and I've been saying it for a few episodes and been putting it off. So I bought the Novacat X8ED up to the store on the new beast. We're going to put it through its paces today. Well, I say it probably actually won't make much difference to it whatsoever. We are going to get the double mower to go with it to make it into a triple mower setup. So it'll be the Novacat 301XD or 302. Can never remember. Oh, the X8ED. There we go. The X8. We're going to buy that. So we've got a nice mowing setup now. I leased that originally way back early on in the episodes, and I said I'm going to have to buy that at some point. So we're actually going to buy it. So we bought that. I'm also going to buy, or am I going to lease? I'm not going to do hay that often, am I? I'm going to lease the Windrower. No, Tedder, but I will buy a Windrower. I think is probably the best way around. So I'm going to get the Kuhn GF8712 simply because... No, what did I say? Lease or buy? I'm going to lease that because the double mower is 8.4 metres. That's 8.7. So that will TED whatever I mow. So that's perfect. So I'm going to lease that. And then I'm going to buy the Windrower. And it doesn't really matter. Well, I suppose it does. Because what I can do, that is actually an 8.5. Just thinking, because it's 8.4 metre width. If I just wanted to do grass at any point, I can have the triple mowers on the front with the windrow on the back, so I can go round, I can cut and windrow all in one go, which is pretty much what the Chrome Big M does. But I'm using the Chrome Big M on Felsburn already, so I didn't want to kind of duplicate what I'm doing on Ravenport. That one's a 9.3. Yeah, I think I might do. Get the SR 314. I've used it a few times. It works really well. I don't need that just yet, but I will do at some point. So what I'm going to do is swing this round and put it into... Actually, that should be folded, shouldn't it? Lower it and drop it off. I'm going to put that on the back straight away to balance out the weight. So put the double on there, the beauty of the Novacats, and then go and hook that one onto the front of that. It's big, it's unwieldy, but it does work. You can get away with it. So we're going to go down to field 20, the one next to our farm again. That has been fertilised twice. I'm going to have to buy the land again to use it though to cut the grass, and that's probably a plot of land I'm going to buy at some point anyway. Again, I've been saying that for ages and ages. It just seems at the moment it's a lot of money to buy the plot just to cut the grass, so all I'm doing is providing a service to the farmer by keeping his grass cut, and the payment I get for that is keeping the grass. That's, you know, that's the deal. So what I'll do is I'm swinging this way. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to borrow money again, aren't I? Because this is ready to go once the birds have all cleared off, and I've got a little bit of my grass still left. The last time I cut this, I cut it and baled and wrapped it and sold the bales. So, you know, Now I need the hay. I say I need it, not immediately, but I want to put some hay into that hayloft so that making total mix ration is not an issue. It won't cause me any grief. That was the wrong menu again. How's that mission going? 75 mission? Contract? God, I haven't said mission in a long time. Contract 75%. That's not too bad actually. That's got to be running low. I only put, what, about 1.5 things of seed into that, so I don't know. Right, how much is this plot again? I've bought this enough times, you think I'd know by now, wouldn't you? It is 227. And I've got 215. I don't have to borrow that much actually. That's okay, so let's borrow. That's actually all I need for the time being, isn't it? Yeah, because I'll get the money for the sewing contract in a minute. That'll be about 12. Oh, I'll get a little bit more. Just in case. Oh, I didn't buy it after all that. Oh, what am I like? Buy. Fantastic. So. Let's open that up. Need to get wide enough that I can open the other one up. Let's go to that. Open that up. Right, turn that on. Whole lot should drop down. Go to the front one, turn that on. So if I move forward to that point, is that actually okay? Oh yeah, the boundary's just there. Okay, right, so, and then go to the back, open that. I will get there. We'll get there in a minute. I promise. So that will go just a little bit wider than the mowers. Turn that on, drop that down. And we are. Tedding. So we're cutting the grass, turning it, and making it into hay. If you've been playing the game for a long time, you already know that. It's kind of a... It's not going to be a new process to you, but if you're new to the game, this may all seem like witchcraft. But yeah, so you cut the grass, use a tedder. What normally would happen is you cut the grass, you leave it, the grass dries out, but obviously underneath it's still going to be damp and moist because it's touching the ground and the sunlight can't get to it. You come along with the tedder, turn it all over, and then the underside that was damp then dries out, and then you've got your hay, and then you just come and collect it all up for whatever you need to do. So then all I'll do is windrow it, probably lease a loading wagon, and I'll just come and collect everything I need. Turning circle's pretty good. Generally speaking, the tedder follows the tight turn. You won't leave any grass generally. Sometimes you do, but not always. And there we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Now obviously on the areas which are just grass, which has been put down by, you know, just as a feature, that will always give you less yield than the grass on an actual field. The field itself, field 20 there, because you can fertilise it, it means that as I cut this stuff, why has that missed it? Just at a funny angle. So all this stuff will be a one particular yield, whatever the yield works out to be. But on the darker area you can see just across the right, or maybe you can't, it depends if you can see or not. Because that's the field and that's been fertilised, as I go across that you'll see it should give you like a thicker mat of grass, simply because that is the field itself. That will give you a higher yield. It should give you a high yield. That's kind of the point of fertilising, otherwise why bother? What I will do, I think, try and give myself a straight edge, because what I can do as well, I can set the worker. I shouldn't really be backing up this going. I can set a worker to cut and ted, which should work actually. Just trying to think. It used to, I'm sure it used to on 17. You know, it's that when your memory starts playing tricks on you, think, I'm sure it did, didn't it? Then you can't actually remember whether you're right or not. Happens to me all the time. Might as well cut right the way across here. So what I should be doing now is going to the front one there, lift that whole assembly up. Oh, how did that not turn? Triangle, so I can turn it around a little bit. No, it doesn't like that, does it? Doesn't like it. So I'll get that tether to make contact with that grass. There we go. Otherwise I'm left with some bits it hasn't actually done. Cool. So what I'll do now is I will continue. Goes back down again. And there we go. Let's see if I can get the worker. The worker should do it. Should do both. We'll put the tether down. There we go. So like I say, on the actual field itself, the worker should quite happily just carry on. Head right to the edge. Might have to come back and do a little bit of this, but the workers really do turn around in some weird. What is that doing? Nope. Right, the worker's not liking the turns at all, and I've just realised in stopping to do a screenshot, a thumbnail, that I don't think it recorded the last bit. So yeah, if I'm going to be doing it, having to watch it the whole time, I might as well do it myself. It seems pointless letting the worker do the work but then me watching it the whole time. So I was hoping that I could let it get on with it, and I could go over and sort out the worker that's doing the sowing contract because it's run out of seed in its tank. But this is frustratingly not really letting me do that, but it's not the end of the world. I know I say that a lot, but it isn't really. It's quite therapeutic, chugging along, making hay. Weirdly, this is almost an identical setup to what I just did a contract on Felsborough, using exactly the same machinery and also doing sunflower. I went back and I grabbed, well, I didn't get a whole container, I've only put 640 litres in here. The contract's 93% complete, it's not going to use hardly anything. It's actually just up here. So there wasn't any point putting a full 1,000 in. Field 13. I am continuing to kind of plod along doing the contracts and things I need to until my cotton field is ready on field 11. I should get a big old harvest out of that and make a nice bit of money on that. Oh, look at where the light shines off the window. I do still like the interiors of a Deutz-Fahr. I think it's really cool. I suppose because there's lots of bright colours, I'm attracted to shiny things. That's probably what it is. I know, it's sad, isn't it? We are good to go. I think I'm about central. Right. Let's line up. Perfect. Very nice indeed. Right, so contracts 93%. 94, yeah, not long. So yeah, it's not going to use anywhere near that. I think that seeder took 1,600 and something litres to fill it. What I'm going to do on Fellsbrun and on here, I think, I'm going to invest in the front tank. And I'm going to invest in... Where are we for seeders? There. I found, weirdly... Oh no, it wasn't. Maybe it's the planters one. That could be why. Oh no, it's very weird though. I might get one of those, which is an additional seed tank. But if you go up to planters as well, you've got that one. And you've got that one. Now, oddly, and I don't know why this is, that one won't fill up from the ground, but that one will. I even tried lifting up a container to fill that one up and it didn't want to know. I don't know why. It's very peculiar. So I might get one of those. That's got a 2,200 litre capacity compared to that one, the Kuhn TF1512, which has only got 1,500. Might be a bit of experimenting needed, but I think if I buy one of those, if I take on any sowing contracts, I can borrow equipment to do the sowing contracts, but then use my own additional tank, which means you haven't got to come back and refill at any point. That it should, you know, unless you're doing some really monster sowing sessions, which I suppose is entirely possible. How are we looking? 97%. If we don't drive off this cliff, we'll be fine. I do need to get back over to field 20. And oh, now we are going to disappear somewhere. This is what happens when you set the GPS. It goes mad. Whoa. Has this even got the oomph to pull this back up the hill now? Yes, of course it has. The mighty Deutzfahr. Anyway, all good. This will be finished in a minute. And I'll get back over. That's all I wanted to do was just refill the tank and sort that out, and then I'll get back over to making my hay. Awesome. Right. This should come up in the top right hand corner any time. Contract complete. It should do. Why is it left that? What is going on? That's weird. Why has it left that? These workers have got a mind of their own. Anytime now. And there we go. Contract on field 13 is finished. Right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this back and I'm going to unload the seeder, because what I've had a habit of doing, I get all overexcited and I go to this screen and I go, yeah, brilliant, press collect, it takes back the equipment and the seed's in it. So yeah, mind you, it says reimbursement 433. Is that for the seed I've used? I guess it must be, mustn't it? Anyway, right, I'll take that back. I will empty the seed and we'll close that contract off. We'll see what else is available and I'll get on with my hay making. It's funny how some episodes seem to be just jam-packed. I'm doing stuff bouncing from job to job to job to job. Other episodes are a little bit more kind of relaxed and you can take a bit more time doing one job. Just enjoy driving a tractor, you know? I think sometimes you get caught up in the let's play and you forget, you know, you just don't take the time to enjoy why you enjoy the game, you know? I enjoy using the machinery, I enjoy the, you know, driving the tractors around, and you know, I don't mind that laid back, relaxed, but I kind of get myself swept up in my own excitement and then everything just goes at a million miles an hour. Oh dear. So anyway, let's hopefully I always dread those lights going and it starts going ding 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 and train plows into you. So let's hopefully unload. I've still got people actually saying, there you go, that was, well, weird. Okay, so, oops, turn it off. Saying that some of the seeders still won't unload. Yeah, I don't know why. Some will, some won't, some do, some don't. I don't know the rhyme or reason to it. There doesn't appear to be any rhyme or reason to it. Some do, I don't know. Anyway, so there we go, right, collect on the contract. What are the ones we've got available? There's that harvesting one I said I might take on as well. That require a bit more work. Although that said, that's field 5, and that's taken to the central grain elevator. So when we look at the map, and that's kind of how I gauge some of my contracts as well, is how far is it to transport when you say kind of harvesting one. Well, realistically, that's field 5 there. Big field, not bad, but the central grain elevator's right next to it. So that's actually not a bad run between the two. That, you know, you can do that fairly easily. It's when you get a job that maybe says it wants you to do field 5 and you've got to transport it all the way to the restaurant, you know, which is down here. That's a bit more of a trek. Some of the jobs that were over this side of the map and want you to unload down at the port grain elevator, generally speaking now, I'll use the trains. If I'm over this side of the map, I'll load up onto the silo here, or over on this side, I'll load up onto the silo here, and I'll take them round by train. It's far easier than going backwards and forwards. You know, and a lot of maps. It's going to be interesting to see as new maps come out. When new maps come out, not all maps will have trains on. So, you know, some maps will be much smaller, some will be narrower, tighter lanes, some will be bigger and more open, and you will change your style of gameplay, the equipment you use, and all that kind of stuff to suit that map. And like again, I'm preaching to the converted. If you've been playing this game a long time, you know that already. Of course you do, but not everyone does. Right. So what's I doing? Hay. That was what I was doing. Let's get on with the hay. To be honest with you, this tractor is it's complete overkill for this windrower rake. I have leased it again. I haven't bought it only because I bought the field, so I can do this work. I didn't have enough money to buy it, so I have to wait. I'll get one at later. It's only just over 1,000, I think, something like that, to lease it. So. It's not breaking the bank, and you've seen me do this before. I think I did this in the early episodes too. Should be leaving a nice, I say neat swath. You've got to remember this is me doing it, so you know, neat-ish. Let's just say neat-ish. I did come all the way around here in the end. Shouldn't really be dragging the rake across the gravel. But it's all good. Some of us didn't want a windrow, didn't want a TED for some reason. I had to take the mowers off the front and put them away and come back over the tedder just to get it to do it. If for some reason certain parts of it just stayed as grass, but once I managed to manoeuvre the tedder around a little bit, it was a bit better. I think I got that bit in the end, didn't I? Whoops. So then I'll lease a loading wagon and I'll come and collect it all up. Was the absolute beauty on FS17 of having the snowblower, because the snowblower would collect stuff off the ground. So you could use that with a normal trailer, and you had a nice little loading wagon. I think the the snowblower was about 6 grand. So you couple that with the trailer you already had, and for 6 grand you got yourself a loading wagon. So that was very handy and missed. But we will use a loading wagon how it's supposed to be used. Just get hung up on the bushes on the way through. So anyway, yeah. So this is another process, like I say, you've seen me do before. If you're new to the series, you may want to go back to the start for it to make more sense, but if you haven't, that's what I'm doing. I'm just windrowing. I tell you what, leasing loading wagons is not a cheap business. That's the smallest one. That's only 23,000, isn't it? 23,000 litres? Yeah, 23,000 litres. That's 2,346 to lease that. That's the cheapest one. They get very expensive as you move up. If I get up to the biggest one that we got there, 56,000 litres, that's 7,000 to lease. Even the next one up from that, the Bergman Repex 34S, that's 4,000, and I mean that's a lot of money. Anyway, the harvesting contract on field 5 that I took on is going great guns. I was going to take up the John Deere and to kind of join in and make it quicker. That said, I think we were given, or we've borrowed a Case 90, the bigger one, isn't it? The Case, which one was it? The Axle Flow 9240. We've got one of those with a nice big draper header, and it's absolutely motoring through the work. So I'm going to get this back down to field 20. I keep saying 20 because it is field 20. Why do I keep second guessing myself? Oh no, helps, he's got a full grain tank again already. This is going to be a tricky prospect, I think, because of the draper header and the fact that it's a nice speedy old harvester. It's making very light work of it. So I'll have to collect this in a second. Right, what we need to do then is turn on, there we go, that's rotating, drop that down, got a funny feeling this is going to fill up quite quickly. So, let's get whizzing around this, and then we'll tip everything we've got into the hayloft. We've got a little bit of snow here. It's just started to snow. I mean, like literally tiniest amount. Farm dog doesn't like it. It went out in the garden and came straight back in. And now it's just growling out the window at the snow coming down. Doesn't normally growl like that, and that's what's really weird about it. It's normally a very placid dog. And it's weird because we've had him well over a year now, and we had snow last year when he was just a pup, but I don't know if he remembers. I don't, not knowing much about dogs and their memories, I don't know how well they remember things. We are almost full. There we go, 23,000 litres. First bit. This will take quite a few loads on this. And I could have got a much bigger one to make the job quicker, but it would have cost me a fortune. An absolute fortune. I don't mind going backwards and forwards. And it does mean we're building up our hay supply. That's the main thing. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to carry on and I'm going to get the rest of this hay off this field. Then we'll see at the end how much we've got. Because quite clearly, Farm Dog is not going to stop making that noise the whole time I'm doing this. Which is going to get quite frustrating for most people, I think. Including me. So, I will leave you and see you in a bit. And hopefully he stops. I am on the very last bit of hay off of this field. And I think we're up to about 150,000 litres in storage. Now we had some already, to be fair, that was bales that we shredded and put in there, but that's enough to keep us going for quite a while. Considering for as long as I keep these topped up, the feed lasts for 10 days now, doesn't it? I think it's 10 days. So that's that. Let's check in here. Zoom in. 157,596. I've got 74,000 litres of straw. At some point I'm going to need to get some more straw. And then obviously I've got my my silage in the bunker silo. Fantastic. That's the hay part of this done. What I'm going to do now is take the loading wagon back. I have at the moment just put the tedder, the windrower, and I will put this to one side. I haven't returned them because as long as I'm not using them, they're not costing me anything. When it gets to midnight, if I haven't used them again, I'll get rid of them before midnight. That way I don't get charged leasing fees again overnight or anything like that. But there's a possibility, you're never quite sure, whether in the rest of this day I might need the loading wagon to pick up some straw, or it'd be ridiculous to get rid of it and then have to release. So I'll keep hold of it at least until midnight. Because what I was doing a lot when I played FS17, I'd use something, give it back, then part way through another episode suddenly think, oh, I wish I still had that, because that would come in really handy. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. Actually, I'll just put it over here. What I'm going to do now is head over to field 5 where the harvest contract is continuing. That harvest, like I say, is filling up incredibly quickly. I was going to drive over, but I have also got the blue power is over there with the fertiliser tank literally by the side of field 5. So I'm going to head over. As I have mentioned this before, I do know that you can tab between vehicles. I generally don't tab on a Let's Play. Not on screen anyway, if you know what I mean. I don't like the harvester being static too long, because the whole time it's sitting there, the worker is costing me money, it's still going down, and I'm not doing anything. But I think it only stopped. Actually, I'm not sure when it stopped. I'm not going to say it's only just stopped because I don't know for definite. I say there's not much to this field. Actually, this is a fair sized field. It's going to take a little while, I think, to finish this off. Contract wise, we are at no, wrong one, 49%. Oh yeah, so we're only halfway. That said, I need to offload once this trailer's full. But interestingly, the contract on field 8 has come up for the cotton. There's another fertilising contract there, another one there for 12,000. So we can make a nice bit of money. I'm going to probably take on that harvesting contract. Now here's the thing, and I'm not sure if I've tested this before already. A lot of people have messaged me about contracts and saying that you can use contract vehicles, but things like headers and machinery it won't let you use. So tractors you can get away with, harvesters you can get away with, but you have to lease your own header. Now the thing with that contract is the cotton harvesters, it's not a detachable header. So I thought if I do that contract, I could use those cotton harvesters on my field, on field 11, but I don't know if it will let me. So what I'm going to do is take on the contract, not in this episode, because obviously, that's going to take quite a long time. and I'll try it. I don't think it will let me, but I have no problem with leasing a cotton harvester for doing my own field. But like I say, my field now is ready to harvest too, so we're going to be in the money a little bit, hopefully. Field 12 looks like that's going to need a harvest as well. What to do with the funds? Don't know really. We'll see when we get there. That will be a nice bit of money. A couple of fertilising jobs. We'll do our own cotton harvest on 11. Then I'm going to put a different. I say I'm going to put a different crop in that. We'll see how much money we make, and decide what to do. I could buy another plot maybe, and then keep that ticking over with cotton, and maybe then do a different crop in a different field. I don't know. I haven't really kind of decided that bit yet. What we're up to? Oh, that's full, 48,000 litres. So what I'm going to do now is take this off to central grain elevator, which is just there, and there's a bridge there, and there's the Rickety Bridge up the top, which I really like. So we're going to cross on the Rickety Bridge. The mildly terrifying, creaky, looks like it's going to collapse any minute bridge. That one. I'll put my beacons on, you know, that way if we do plummet into the chasm, at least we've got our beacons on. Not that it'll make any difference whatsoever, but you know, this is such a cool bridge. It really is awesome. Yeah, this bit here, that it's been repaired. Probably shouldn't be bringing a whacking great big lorry full of crops over it, but now, because this lifts up when it unloads, in the central grain elevator there's the roof bit, so what I was doing before was sort of semi-emptying it, then dropping it, then emptying it again, then dropping it. Otherwise the trailer gets caught on the roof and it kind of flicks the thing all over the place. So what we'll do is do that, and you'll see what I mean as we get closer to the roof, like so. It will open too far, so what I'll do now is cancel the load, bring that back down again to flat, and then go again, because once that hits the roof it goes everywhere. So a little bit left, and we are 50% transported. Contracts now, we are looking at, how far through are we? Go back up, 56%, so we've got a little bit to go, but we are getting there, and hopefully there'll be a little bit of crop left over at the end, which means we should make a little bit of money. What we'll do is go out across the other bridge on the way back. Yeah, we should make a little bit of money at the end of the contract if there's any spare. I'm hoping the same will happen on the contract on field 8, because that's cotton. If we supply the contract and we go over, because cotton's worth a bit of money, that's another one where we could potentially, I don't know if it'll work the same as cotton, because it doesn't kind of unload, it doesn't pour like say a normal crop does, you know what I mean. There you go, there's the New Holland, that's where I fertilised field 4, and that's kind of where it ended up. I'm hanging on because you never know where the next fertilising job's going to be. There's no point taking it all the way back to the store to then come all the way back out again to another field, so I just kind of left it there really. I know it's untidy, it's unlike me to leave things scattered around the place. Now I could have brought over the John Deere harvester and probably could have got this done, well, yeah, in half the time for all intents and purposes, but because I was doing the hay as well, there didn't seem much point because I had another job to be getting on with. That said, now it's done, I could have brought, I suppose I still could really, couldn't I? Could bring it out and that'll make this job get done a lot quicker. I might do that. Next time you see me there could be a second harvester on the job. Okay, so I brought it out. Now I'm going to put the bigger header to the test here now, because I don't know how this is going to go. The pipe will only just about go as far as the header, so I'm, you know, it works, it is working. I'm not knocking it. The other one, Helper D, has now got a full grain tank, so this one can be going. Oh, that's awesome with that bigger header, doesn't it? I might have to upgrade at some point and get the bigger harvester. I think, you know, it just kind of goes without saying you need to, don't you? So let's get across here and unload that. Well, with two on the case, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, we can get on with this. Now, I'm sent pictures and stuff all the time, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted that. Excuse me. I'm sent pictures and stuff all the time from people, and I love it. People that are actual farmers sending me pictures of their farms and their vehicles, and that's fantastic. Gamers sending me pictures of their maps and their vehicles and things they're using. People trying out all different innovative ideas and ways of trying things out. Blaine sent me a load of pictures yesterday doing cotton harvesting using various different trailers for loading the cotton bales onto, including logging trailers, which I haven't seen that done before. Lots of people have sent me pictures showing different trailers. I think it was Sir Argus, and he had the DPW 180, but the bales on sideways, and there were 10 bales on it. I think it was Sir Argus that sent me that one. So I haven't seen anyone use a logging trailer before for doing cotton bales, which was, yeah, it was something different. So I just thought I'd mention it. Blaine's been trying all different things out. Right. Yeah, so you know, it's brilliant. I've had a few different people contacting me about the contract situation, the subscriber contracts, with various different ideas of how I could potentially tackle it. I am looking at all options, to be fair, at the moment. Some are more complicated. Oh, it went the other way. I was expecting it to go. Oh, doesn't matter. Not a problem. I was expecting it to go the other way, but why I would expect that, I don't know. So what I've got to do now is kind of come in at a slight angle like so, which is exactly the same as I would do with the lorry. So I would come in with the lorry and come out at a slight angle, because like I say, if I come in straight, the pipe's not quite long enough, but an angle like that, obviously you wouldn't be able to do that unload on the go. If you did, I mean, you would have to be inch perfect to get that right. I suppose you still could do, couldn't you? But now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the John Deere to do the end section, and I'm going to let the other one carry on doing the bulk of that, and if I finish the end section then I'll go on to doing that section as well. Just think I can tidy up this end while the other harvester's doing that bit. It's working really well. Didn't seem to have any problem going up the hill either. I mean, it's not a particularly steep hill, but it's going fine. So let's get that going again. And I would imagine... Now it's weird, on 17, if you hired a worker and it had its beacons on, I'm pretty sure when it then started off again it would turn the beacons off. Or did I dream that? Potentially, I dreamt it. Right, anyway. So, and with two harvesters running, it means I can, there you go, worker D, I'm literally just unloading. It's backwards and forwards, and before I get into that truck and get over there, it's going to have a full grain tank, isn't it? Probably. Will I get turned around in there? Should do. Anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to carry on, get this harvest finished. When I see you again, we'll be doing the last offload, and probably, I was thinking, not far off the end of the episode. Oh, what I need to do is sell back field 20 as well, don't I? I've done the work on that. Cut the grass for the farmer, keeping it all under control, giving it a bit of a trim. Get to it before it fills up, and I can keep it going. There we go, come on. No! Didn't quite get there. Never mind. Okay, so, like I say, I'll see you at the last offload, I think. If that's going to be almost full. If not completely full. Yep. 48,000. Off we go. And this is the last of the barley. I unloaded, there was about 6,000 litres left in the harvester, so I actually brought the harvester over and unloaded the harvester directly into it from the auger pipe, which was just made life a little bit easier. So, I'll do our tip. At some point the contract will complete. We'll make a bit of extra money. I've sold field, what do you call it? 93%. Go again. Contract complete. The rest is profit. It's 10 grand so far. That's not bad. What's that? 15, 16,000 on top. Wow. Okay. So, lights off. Engine off. There's the harvester, pops around the side. So that's that contract complete. Fantastic. And with that, another 16,000. So that's what, 32 grand? Nearly 33, I guess. 33,000 for that contract. Let's collect on that. So, next episode, we're going to be getting this cotton harvesting done on field 8, and we'll try and do my field on field 11 as well. If not, we'll just have to hire a harvester, which I did before, and I still made a massive profit. So the price of cotton is rising, which is good. But I think what I'll do in the meantime, I'm going to take on the field 4 fertilising and the field 13. Seeing as I'm by field 4 and it's gone into the next growth stage, that was the field I just harvested, fertilised, weirdly enough. But we have come to the end of this episode. Hay's all done, which is what I wanted to get done in this episode. A few more contracts and bits and bobs done. So it's all good. We should be in massive amounts of profit, fingers crossed, on the next episode. And then it'll be more purchases. What things, what delights shall I buy with the next purchase? I don't know. Any suggestions? If you want to pop them in the comments. I'm not going to say I'm definitely going to buy what you suggest, but you are more than welcome to suggest things. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.